So, Brother Cynsere, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the current state of the minds of your people?
The current state of the minds of my people is confused. I mean, it goes back to a steam engine train. I understand that it needs combustion to move. However, our bodies is nothing but a steam engine. And we utilize each other's energy lately in the wrong ways, and that deter us from each other when we have the connection with each other.
Now, that's true. I totally agree with that. Let me ask you a question. You said confused. Now, by confused, do you mean by the definition term of it or by the etymology term of it, which con meaning to grift or to lie with intent, and fuse meaning to bring to bring together. So meaning that you lie with intent and you bring a person together with it. You've now confused people. It's now an actionary thing. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean by the ignorance, the blissful ignorance of a lack of knowledge while thinking you know? What do you mean when you say confused?
I'm going to go with both of them, because due to the fact that ones don't know which way they really want to go. Under the act that it's like, I myself feel that if we sit here and really learn who we are as a person, as a being, and accept that who we are, to flow with the flow of nature,
the natural order of things.
Exactly. Everything would go as set to be.
See what you're talking about, and you haven't put the title on it though, but what you're talking about is called the universal God. The universal God is that God of, not in the Bible, but that God that wakes you up. Not the one that wakes your brain up, but the one that wakes your soul up to wake your brain up. And that universal God is what, see, most people think that the leaves dance in the wind when actually the tree called the air. And that's that universal God. That universal God that made you late for your appointment so that you didn't get in a car accident. So when you're saying once we move into the natural order of things, that universal God will bend the universe to our will?
Exactly. You see, if we just went with the flow and stopped forcing things and putting things and putting ourselves in situations that we cannot control, then everything would be all right.
But if we put ourselves in that situation, that means we can't control it. Think about that for a second. You have everything you ever wanted in life. For instance, I'll give you an example. If you want, let's say you have a job, right?
Correct.
And a person will complain and say, I got this job. It's not the job I want, but I have a job. Well, I argue it is the job you want because you work it. You work it. Because if it were really not the job you want, you will continue until you found the job.
Correct.
Because if you were looking for your key in the grass, if you found a soda, if you found a coin, would you stop looking for your key? That's not the key you want. It's not the key to your house. It's not going to get you what you want, right? So basically, if you found a soda and you walked away, that's because that's what you wanted. So if this is a job you have and this is a life you live, that's what you wanted, because you are God. You create your environment. So
I agree.
The thing is the ingredients of your mind. Because then you cook your life with that.
Yes, sir. I definitely agree with that. And in the midst of us cooking it,
okay,
we have mixed, and goes back to the combustion of the ingredients.
Okay.
Of how we are cooking our mind. You know.
Burning that motherfucker.
Burning the hell out of it. And
what can you get from what can you get from an overcooked soul?
What can you get from an overcooked soul? No, wait. How can you overcook the soul?
How can you overcook the soul? I'll tell you how you can overcook the soul, bro. See, the fires of hell is not a literal thing. The fires of hell is the life that plagues you.
Okay.
Is the life is the level of the trap you put yourself in. You see, every day you have a choice between heaven and hell, but most people choose hell, whether we realize it or not. When you smoke that cigarette, when you went this way instead of that way, when you looked at her ass and complimented her butt instead of looking at the content of her intellect, you chose hell. You chose fire, and you chose to burn your soul.
Ooh.
So what can you do with an overcooked soul? What can you do with an overcooked piece of meat?
Nothing.
You throw it away? You throw it away, right?
I mean,
So that's what we need to do with these unevolved ones.
exactly.
Throw them away. Bro, how long are we going to play the Monopoly game and lose before we flip the fucking table? I'm not talking about culture. I'm not talking about society. I'm talking about just the frame of thought. Your existence in a mental capacity needs to be flipped. Not yours, because we know. But they don't know. So the question is how to make them know, or should we even make them know? Because if you're a king, you need someone to rule.
True. That's so correct. That's so correct. I mean, yeah, what is a king without anyone to rule? Like they say, what is a man that conquers the world that
Loses his soul.
he loses his soul, huh?
Yeah, I get it, bro. Oh, I get it.
I mean, right now though, but I mean, me myself personally, honestly, bro, I'm stuck right now because of the topic that I was just dealing with this synthetic weed.
Synthetic weed.
Synthetic. No, they utilize it. They change it. They don't call it synthetic weed. They call it synthetic cannabis because they take particles of the tree. They take particles of the tree of marijuana and utilize it and
bastardize it.
And exactly.
So basically, you get all the psychoactive properties, but none of the medicinal purposes.
Correct.
I get what you're saying.
And that's what they're doing with us.
But you and now here's the thing though, and this is what you just said. You said your words yesterday, or was it the day before? When did we see each other? The day before?
Like
the day before. Your words were, people are up in an uproar about like a Black Panther movie, and we focus on the wrong things. Like right now, I'm not blaming you, and I'm not coming at you, but I need you to understand.
Keep coming.
That your topic in the class that you were just in was about weed, and I know that's why we're talking about this.
Right.
But is that really what we need to worry about them bastardizing? Because our food is the same. We have Franken food, bro.
Oh yeah.
Our food is not real. It's
None
hybrid.
of it.
We worried about recreational substances, but let's think about the thing that sustains life. Sustains life. Have you noticed that our lifespan has dropped since the biblical era? You know why? Because our appreciation of God's design of our food has diminished. Because now we cultivate things that were created in perfection.
And that's what and that's another thing that I'm looking at right as well. Cause see, it's only two ways of life: the law of nature, and the law of man. And the law of man would cease to be, cause the law of nature will always be. And can't nobody who could stop the law of nature?
I'll tell you something about the law of nature that I've noticed. With the law of nature, it's all about creation and life. Don't get me wrong, natural death happens and natural things fall.
Correct.
But it's all about creation and life. But when it comes to man, it's all about creation. But in order for us to create, it's all about destruction. We cannot build a house without destroying a tree. You cannot build a city without destroying a forest. Mm-hmm. And you cannot build a city without destroying a country. I mean, you cannot build a country without destroying a country.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? So everything we make comes from destruction. But nature is different. So the question is, how do we make that correlation, and how do we start to create from creation and not create from destruction? How do we build a house without removing that tree, and how do we move into that tree?
By utilizing the term of the fact that one man's trash is another man's treasure.
So basically, you're saying to take what is there for us already and build with it.
Exactly.
Man, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Bro, that's it.
What it is.
That's it. Isn't that what we've done? Bro, we found Egypt and built on top of it.
Yeah.
We found Ethiopia and built on top of it.
Yeah.
They found a thriving Moorish Native American coexisting fucking colony. Bro, I didn't say city. I said a colony because the Moors had colonies.
Yes.
Paved in gold. And they destroyed and built on top of it.
Exactly.
And let's not go white and black here. Let's stick with just man.
Oh, we ain't,
because we do it too.
We on man. We on being.
Okay, but see, I had to bring it up because once you say more, black people get in an uproar.
No, yeah, and that's true. So y'all gotta be conscious, man. See, back in 1492, back in Spain, when the brothers and sisters over there in Spain was taken down, and they, as they say, they took down and they knocked down our cherry tree, and did them things. Back in Spain in 1492, them brothers and sisters, as we see here in this city of Chicago, in the city life here in America, we got lights and all this and electricity going through, and you got cords, and they had all this in 1492 in Spain.
You know why? And they didn't have cords either. You remember that? Me and you was looking at the same type. Remember, I was looking at the same documentary. They didn't have cords. You know why? Because electricity comes from the earth naturally.
Exactly.
So you don't have to create it. You just have to harness it.
Why are we sitting here?
Because we destroy Alexandria.
Forcing things to fit where they don't go.
Because we destroy Alexandria, and now we don't know how to put our Legos together.
And then these people sitting here playing with the nature of the weather. Look at Chicago. It's April and we got snow.
April and motherfucking snow.
Minnesota got 12 inches of snow.
Bro, you think that's all they fucking with? Bro, white girls got big booties.
That too.
Bro, do you know where that came from? I'll tell you where that came from. People like to blame the food. People like to blame organ harvesting. People like to blame the stealing of melanin. All these conspiracy theories. But let's be serious about this topic. For hundreds of years, when we were enslaved, mammy breastfed white children. You don't think that does nothing on a genetic level? Bro, let me explain something to you. You're fucked up now. Our bodies are fucked up because we eat cow's milk. The milk with just enough casing.
Why the fuck do we
for
even
a cow?
Wait. That's none that you bring up.
Because it's not calcium we drink milk for. We drink milk for casing.
Wait though. Now that you bring up milk, that's another unique topic. Due to the fact that why is it that we, as being humans,
drink milk from another animal,
utilize milk from something else?
Bro, I asked the same way.
They would not give a goat milk from a cow.
You know what they won't do either? You know what you won't do? You won't let a random woman breastfeed your child, but you will let a random animal.
Ain't that about a bitch?
You will let a random animal.
And we do that daily. And I watch my brothers and sisters grow up drinking milk. See, I was breastfed.
Bro, let me tell you something.
I'm the oldest of 9 children.
That's how you know it's a problem. Because us, what they call the unevolved man, the indigenous man, are 70% lactose intolerant for a reason.
And like I say, again, I'm the oldest of 9 children. My mother gave birth to 9 children. She only breastfed 1.
You want me to tell you what sickle cell is? Also, the bastardization of a diet. But it's been done so long now, it now affects you on a genetic level.
Exactly.
You see, it has now changed the shape of your blood cells.
Yes, it does.
And that's not white supremacy. And even though we say it is, because it's the winners who forced the life upon us. But if it had been anybody else, they would have done it too, bro.
Again, where's this title come from with this white?
Well,
we're gonna stop that. We're gonna stop
it, true, but we have to stop it by bringing it up. We can't ignore the elephant in the room.
Say no more.
We can't ignore the elephant in the room. Every black person I know, a white person is the reason why they are fucked up.
At least that's what they're gonna say.
And they don't know no white people.
Exactly.
The most interaction they have with Caucasians is police and school.
Ooh.
In court if you fucking up.
You heard me, the judicial system.
Yes. So you cannot blame white people for the judicial system. You know why? Because nobody could fire a bullet at you if you don't give them the gun.
Ain't that the truth?
So if you don't commit the crime, you don't do the time. Now, mind you, the system, if it had not oppressed you or kept you in an oppressed state for you mentally to have to seek this crime to fill that void of inequity that you have in your life, you will not be in it. But at the same time, it is still the responsibility of the person that chooses that action.